product. The original product was excellent. It had an extraordinary, excuse me, level of realism. It had a great level of you could put units in buildings. You could see them actually garrisoned in the buildings. You could destroy those buildings. You could capture those buildings. You can put them and make them into HQs. You know, you had your tanks, you had your artillery, blah blah blah.
There's so much.
Goes on and goes on.
I mean, and it does feel a little arcadey.
It was just a finely crafted, packaged product. Everything was great. The voiceover work was great. The graphics were great. You could go right down to the soldier level and you could see the soldiers, and it would be like a game from 3 years prior, basically, the graphics. And that's we're talking RTS here. We're not talking about an FPS. So that's every individual soldier was at that level of detail, which is pretty amazing. And then you've got, you know, the gameplay, the balancing was pretty decent. You know, they've played it up. Some patches have been better than others, but you know, overall that game in the RTS world is one of the finest packages. I tried getting into Red Alert 3. I used to be, back in the day, a big Red Alert fan when I was like little, what, 10, 11, 12. You know, I'd play the original Red Alerts and Tiberian Wars, whatever they're called. And you know, that used to be my thing. Those were the first type of games I would play, were RTSs. So.
All right, thanks,
but basically, my opinion is that if we as a community don't tell the developers that we're not going to accept them, if they can get away with Modern Warfare 2 being as it is, they're just going to count their stacks of bills. Give us at least the PC audience. I'm not talking for the folks on the 360 and PS3. They're not whining. You know, they're told that's how the voice functioned. But for us PC folks, unless we stand up and say no, this is bullshit, it's always going to be the way it is, and it's been happening for years. And it will happen for years, and that's how it is.
Well, I mean, from my standpoint, if the future game, I mean, you look at the future gaming now, for example, Dragon Age Origins, alright, now they released a few download contents that were already in the game. You had to pay you already paid like 50, 60 bucks for Dragon Age Origins, correct? Now, you had to pay EA extra 10 bucks for download content that was already in the game. You had to pay them money for them to unlock the download content that was already in the game. I mean, and now look at, I mean, for example, Borderlands as well. Now, see, Gearbox had messed up when they had launched Borderlands. They had, for a PC, they didn't have any like CD key for it or nothing. So it was you know, perfect thing for you know, pirates to pirate. I mean, and now they launch a download content that costs 10 bucks. I mean, what's up with all this download content that you had to pay for? You know, why not have games such as Killing Floor, you know, that release, you know, really good updates, you know, that seem like an add-on, and the only things you have to pay for in Killing Floor is little character packs that really isn't you know, necessary for the gameplay. And another thing, back to the download content of Borderlands, I mean, you have to pay 10 bucks for the download content, right? And now the download content, you read define little letters, it has Securicom. You can only install it 5 times on machines, you know. So you know, why start now? I mean, the game itself did not have Securicom. Why go with the download content you've already paid 10 bucks for? You know, I mean, is the future of gaming going with download content that you know, you've already shelled out 50, 60 bucks for this game, and you got to pay $10 on to $10 on to even 20? I don't know. You know, that's in the future. You know, so yeah, back to Nick.
Alex, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? One of the biggest things we were talking about the future of gaming, but the way I've been seeing it now is that it's all about business, and the way business views it is that console is all equaled out. Everyone has an equal opportunity, so the business looks at it in this way of, well, let's see, they're all having fun. It's equaled out, fair play, game share. The amount of hacking is significantly low compared to PC. There's also what kills PC is the availability to make hacks, produce hacks, and sell hacks 24/7 on a constant basis. And my question to Reaper is, if this continues down this road of where console is starting to dominate within the next 2 to 3 years, I can see it. What happens to some of these leagues on PC if it gets overblown by console just dominating?
Well, what it comes down to is when a game is released for the PC side, is what kind of AC does it have with it, such as Punkbuster. With dedicated servers, of course, servers can be streaming to PB bands, PSB, and various other sites to help curve the way the cheats are. So I think the companies see the profit in consoles, but yet they can't. I don't think they can ignore the PC side of things, since that's where games originated from, and that's where these big games got their following. I see consoles becoming bigger in certain areas, but I don't think PC gaming will ever go away.
Yeah, I totally agree. They won't go away completely, but it'll be so small to the amount of where sponsorship and supporters won't want to put the effort and money into it.
It'll be second generation
cause.
towards the
Yeah.
towards the console. And the thing with the console is versus a PC is with the console you have a set generation. When you buy your console, you buy a PlayStation 3, you buy an Xbox 360. These programmers are programming good graphics for these systems. But as to where a PC, you always have to upgrade your system. You're gonna get a new video card every 6 to 9 months. No one wants to be shelling out $300–400 for a video card to play the next best game on the PC. But you do get better visuals. But with the consoles, it's more cheaper to play. So.
Yeah, and therefore bringing that back to what we were discussing is why the business market already looks at PC as a little bit of a fail, because they keep throwing out games that require such high requirements and not everyone can play, and then you have people that complain because they can't. They feel as though they're not on the same level as someone who has a $4,000 rig and you can only afford an $800 rig. It's totally unfair.
Yeah, I agree with that point, because what you have to say is people are gonna rather shell out that one time for, what is it now, $300 for the 360, or $300 for one of those new slim
right now
PS3s.
the PS3 is retailing at the $299 and the 360.
Yeah,
don't know what the
one of those
360
$300,
costs right
one of the you know.
about the $350.
Yeah, so I mean, people are way more gonna be willing to shell out that one-time pain of $300 instead of $300 every 6 months, or be it 6 or 4 or 5, whatever. Whenever someone wants to upgrade for the newest and greatest game, they're gonna whine, they're gonna bitch, they're gonna moan. So I can see PC gaming already. I mean, think about it. PC gaming compared to console gaming, it's more of an elitist type thing. I mean, think of it already. I mean, people are usually of a different caliber, or of a different mindset that PC game, if they're not on daddy's PC. If they have their own PC, if they bought with their own hard-earned money, they're of a different mindset.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, because we sort of gaming with the PC is sort of like real life. It is in the aspect of it's on materialistic things. It's like who can have the better car, except this is vice versa. Who has the better PC, who can afford a better graphics card. But yet we're society, we can't all afford things like that. As opposed to console, it's like, here we go, we're all equal. There's none of that in the PC world.
Yeah, and as I think someone mentioned it earlier, when you have a guy with a $2,000 rig and you have a guy playing an $800 rig at